This is your pre-lab video for part 2 of the gravimetric analysis for Bismuth lab, and this will be for the net ionic equations portion of the lab. If you did not see part 1 yet, please look for that on the YouTube channel. In this section of the lab, you'll be performing 4 small-scale reactions in something called a well plate, and it's depicted here. You'll be given the 2 reactants that you need to react. Some of them are solids, some of them are in solutions. You can tell what they are from the state of matter, the little s, little l, little g, little aq. Those are the designations for the states. You will have either aqueous or solids that you'll be mixing together. If they're solutions, if it's aq, you'll be adding 8 to 10 drops into the well plate, as well as some solids. If you need a solid, you'll use a spatula tipful. The spatula is the long metal piece of equipment that you'll find in your bin, and just the tiny tip, okay, so just a little bit of the solid. The solids may take time to react, so you might have to give them some time and come back and see what the reaction is over some time. Once you mix your reactants together, you're going to be looking for signs of a reaction, and you really should mix them with a glass stirring rod. Make sure it's clean though. You don't want to transfer and have any contamination from one well plate to the other. Look for bubbles. Of course, this is indicating that a gas is formed. Look for any color changes. Look and see if the solution turns cloudy. If you have 2 solutions together, mixed together, and they were not cloudy before and now they are cloudy, that means that there's a solid was formed. And you also should look to see if the solid dissolves. It's nice to place a piece of white paper underneath the well plate. If your well plate is transparent, this will provide some contrast so that you can see the reaction a little better. If you do not see a reaction, and you do expect one to occur, stir with a clean glass stir rod, as well as adding more reactants. You might just not have added enough to see the reaction yet. If the reactant is in the hood to begin with, do the reaction in the hood. Be sure to record all of your observations in the notebook. Your observations are part of your data. Safety. Make sure you collect all the waste in the containers provided. Nothing is going down the drain. Place no metal in the garbage. This is actually a fire hazard, so make sure that any unreacted metal is collected in the container provided. And please keep the benches clean. Wipe up spills. Don't trust that the bench is clean before you get there. Make sure you clean it, and clean it when you are done. You will be writing the overall equation, the total ionic equation, as well as the net ionic equation for each of these reactions. For the overall equation, you need to predict the products using either a single or double replacement reaction, balance the reaction, and provide states for each of the reactants and products. At this point, there will be no ions in this equation. For your total ionic equation, you will take your overall equation, and for each of the reactants or products, break apart only the strong electrolytes into ions. Remember that the strong electrolytes are soluble ionic compounds and strong acids. For your net ionic equations, you'll be determining the net ionic equation for the reaction using the reference tables provided in the front of the lab manual. You'll find them right opposite the periodic table. There's a whole step-by-step procedure on how to write a net ionic equation, and all of the references that you need to be able to do this is right on that same sheet. Make sure you balance your net ionic equation. Make sure you indicate the charges for the ions, as well as the states for each of the species. And this concludes your pre-lab video for part 2 of gravimetric analysis for bismuth.